Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are almost here, and despite all the criticism it's getting for changing the formula, the least we can expect is a beautiful reimagining of Kanto and its music. Yo, I'm Matt Foryo, and today we're going to analyze what you can expect from the remasters in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. We haven't had a fully remastered soundtrack since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire in 2014, so this is definitely something to look forward to. A regret of mine when playing ORAS 4 years ago was not soaking in my first impressions of the new music. I really don't remember what it felt like to hear many of my favorite tunes remastered for the first time. So this time, I'll be doing two things: relishing in the music of each new locale, and hypothesizing what will change and what will be the same with our new music right now. I will be analyzing one track in particular, The Road to Viridian City, Route 1, to illustrate how these tracks have evolved with their remakes. Listen to the theme from the original Red and Blue. There are only two instruments, playing two melodies that counter each other. I downloaded a MIDI file so I can isolate them for you. Here's the main melody. And here's my favorite part, the bass, or counter melody. Notice how there's not even any drums. It's literally just two instruments. It's very rudimentary for the Game Boy's hardware at the time, of course, but you also notice that the two melodies are relatively the same volume, and they punch just as hard as one another. Given that these are digital instruments, they have a very fast attack. Attack and decay are musical terms, and basically they stand for how long it takes for a sound to start and how long it takes for a sound to end. So percussion drums have a very fast attack. Bam. You didn't hear that coming, you didn't hear it escalate or fade in to itself, you just heard the bam. However, orchestral sounds kind of fade in and lend itself to feeling it before it becomes full force. That is the difference between attack and decay, and you'll notice that the older Pokemon tunes, especially the ones for the Game Boy, have very fast attack, which makes their sounds more punchy, and it resonates with us much more heavily because of that. This lack of dynamic range, or difference in volume and intensity, is the main reason why some of us find the original songs better than their orchestrated remakes. When they are reorchestrated, the counter melodies become subdued, as they were likely intended to be, thanks to upgrades in musical technology. So they might sound more beautiful, but we don't feel those melodies punch as hard as they did when we were children. Now let's jump ahead 8 years from Red and Blue to Fire Red and Leaf Green, where the same song keeps the two lone melodies at the front, but adds in a beat, percussion, and the infamous clapping, of course. This version takes a slower approach, as if to give the melody a dated feel. Notice how after the first 8 bars, a third melody is introduced as a harmony to the main melody. This adds in a new element that was absent in the original. Now let's go ahead 14 years, where the melody reverts to its fast-paced style and loses the percussion and unfortunately also the clapping. The softer instruments and greater dynamic range means that these two melodies no longer compete with each other. Unfortunately, that's what I liked most about the original. Now, the bass melody just blends in with the background instead of headlining. Where Fire Red and Leaf Green added a harmony to the main melody, Let's Go adds a second layer to the counter melody. Listen how the lower notes are embellished this time. Now, what's most intriguing, and most likely an indication of what to expect with these remasters, is that the track adds a third main melody upon its first loop. Take a listen. That melody is completely new to the composition, and it also rivals the volume of the original melody. So what does this all mean? It means that many tracks in Let's Go will likely see more embellishments on the melodies we grew up with, and brand new counter melodies to rival them. Also, get used to the songs reflecting the tempo of the originals from 1996, and also lacking percussion outside of battle themes. Look at Viridian City. It gains a funky beat in Fire Red version, and trades it for bass or cello plucks in Let's Go. Don't expect songs to have a dated feel like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver either. City themes, specifically Viridian's, sound jazzy and matured in that game. However, in Let's Go, it sounds very adolescent, with tiptoeing stabs in the main melody instead. So, before we come to learn and love the new soundtrack, you can expect it to have a very soft, easy on the ear style. As the developers said, they want parents to recognize it as a safe game that their kids are playing if they were listening from the other room. And when you play Let's Go, make sure you revel in your first impressions of each remaster, since it could be some time before we get that chance again. I'm Matt 4Yo, and that's all for Yo today.